everything keeping us from our intuition. All the information and all the distraction is there to keep you from your intuition. But the more you tune in, I'm a firm believer in this and I'll stand by it, that this is the greatest practice any of us can do right now. It's like strength training in a gym. Get really in tune. That's why I love how you're showing and teaching people that you might need to do it over days so you can start to practice that feeling so that you're not questioning it, because it will become your superpower and we're going to need it more than ever. Welcome back, everybody. This is part 2 of the Akashic Readings Records with Rita. I'm excited to dive into even more now. If you haven't listened to part 1, go ahead and tune into that and then tune into part 2, which we're dropping right now. Let's dive right in. Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now. What were those thoughts when you were stepping in it to not just do it for yourself, because that's different than like being like, hey guys, I'll take you on as a client. What was that like?
Well, I was definitely afraid. I judged myself a lot. I had a lot of people who judged me around me.
You did? People that you loved?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I really liked at the beginning, you said, you're open to anyone coming on as a guest. And like, I'm the same. Like my loved ones, I didn't need their approval for me to move forward. It was just something I was thinking about, like, am I really helping people? Like, like that kind of question. Like if others around me are they don't believe in this work, how can I prove, like, can I trust myself? Basically, that was the question.
Yeah.
If in a realm where it's so, how do you show evidence? And so my intention was just keep doing it. And if it helps people, just see where it leads.
Okay.
So
do you feel that fear, like that feeling anymore? Or was that just at the beginning?
No, definitely. So in certain ways, I've gotten very comfortable in certain things, but I'm writing a book right now. Oh my gosh, that's brought up so much, like death by death.
The initiation of a book.
Yes, right? So you get comfortable, but then again, you have to go through what you need to go through.
Yeah. Wow, when's the book come out?
Don't know yet. So I just submitted it to the book editor. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, I understand that. With books.
Yeah.
It is the most vulnerable, keep you up at night. Why am I sharing this? I don't want people to know this. Who do I think I am? Like, oh my goodness, it is the most vulnerable. I don't know what it is about a book, but a book just is a whole new initiation.
Yeah.
Like speaking in front of people is its own initiation. If people are afraid of speaking in front of people, that creates some fear for some people until you just get used to it. But a book is no different.
Yeah.
There's a weird, and I think it's because it feels so real, because it's like you can't take the book back.
Yes.
It's literally like birthing a child and being like, that child is out for the world now.
Yeah,
like,
nothing
I
you
can't
can do
take
about
it back.
That's literally what I said. I'm like, there's no editing. If you're misunderstood, you cannot change that.
Nope.
Yeah, there's
and
nothing.
it's on a page. It's out
forever. Yeah, I think it's just a big release of control. I think that's what a book is. It's the ultimate release of control, because you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know anything.
Yeah. Yep.
So I definitely still feel scared all the time. But I also feel like I really have, I'm sure you're like this too. Do you feel like you just have befriended fear?
Yeah. It's like, all right, let's just walk together.
Yeah.
I deal with vulnerability hangover on the constant. Now I'm like, well, this is kind of funny. Like, I just constantly deal with it.
You're like, there you are again.
Hi. I don't really like you, but hello. Let's sit down together.
Yeah. That honestly, that's sort of what I do. I'll just literally picture it there, and I'm like, I know you're afraid, but we're doing it anyway. So I'd love if we could release some of that, and then I do it anyway.
And you just do it anyway.
Just do it anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's normal, but also you just have to don't let it take control over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's the worst that could happen? I always ask people that. I'm like, let's go there. Let's imagine the worst happens. You lose everything. People hate you. You lose all your money. Okay, what's after that?
Yeah, just you're letting yourself go to the worst case
case scenario. Because once you get there, you're kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's probably not going to happen. But if it did, what would I do?
Mm-hmm. How often do you run into a client where it's telling you, no, you're not supposed to read for them?
Never.
Never.
Because I have at this point, just at least for me, no one in the last 3 years has booked where it was a no.
In the last, okay. Well, I'm not going to leave this name out. So my girlfriend, who's, she's quite connected. She's got money, and she gifted me with one of the, she's very well-renowned Akashic reader.
Amazing.
Well-known.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to give you this gift, Danette, and I'm going to pay for it. And it takes months to get into this woman. She does it for the, high names. And I literally am getting so excited for my reading because it was my first one.
Amazing.
And she lets me know that she's not allowed to read for me.
Oh.
And I was like, what does that mean? And I didn't fight it. I was like, okay, interesting. But I only had another experience. So, and granted, I think there can be, I want to ask you about this here in a minute, but I had another experience where I think I was fresh out of high school. I was working at this guest ranch, and they bring in, also this guest ranch brings in really high level career people, right? And one woman was like this psychic but palm reader, and everybody knew, and everybody was so excited, and she decided that she would let the staff have one for free.
Ooh.
And everybody was sitting down, and she was doing stuff, and people were like, how do you know this? And they were like, this is wild. She knows these things, and how legit she was. I sit down, and she looks at me, and she's like, I can't read for you. And I was like, what is this? What do you think that is from your perspective?
Well,
it's only happened twice. Oh, no, it happened 3 times. There was a psychic in Sedona
that said no?
Yes. So my husband and I were like, let's just go in. And my husband sits down because he was not into this stuff, but she starts doing this reading, and he's like, how does she know this stuff? And all this stuff's coming through. And then I was like, well, I want one. And she's like, no, I'm not allowed to read for you. So no, this has now happened 3 times.
Well, I would actually say that it's a good thing, and that you're not meant to have others determine your fate for you. That's what I feel from your soul. And it's more like your soul being like, no, it's my choice. It's me who has to read for myself. And for some reason, I see tea leaves.
Tea leaves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I see you doing tea readings for yourself.
I love tea. I just brought my own tea here.
Do you ever do tea readings?
I don't even know how to do a tea reading.
You will know how. I just feel like if you just do it, you'll know.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting because I'm so connected to herbs.
You're not meant to have others tell your fate. You're meant to, maybe the earth will be your fate teller. That's what I feel.
That is so profound. You just said that. Okay, how do you read tea? Do you know how to do that? How do I even start? I just drink it. I'm so connected to all the herbs, and I love teas, and
There's different methods depending on what culture, you look at. I know my cousin is married to someone from Turkey, and they do the Turkish coffee where you flip it over and you can read the mug.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So for tea, I've never trained in it, but intuitively my gut says you just, once you're ready, you strain it and then you pour it out and you just sort of see where things land.
And you read the tea leaves.
Yeah.
After they're soaked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
That's my intuitive sense. I don't logically know, but you could Google it, see what other
people do.
Yeah, what they recommend. But I feel like you're just meant to that's what I sense for you.
Okay.
Does that resonate?
Yeah, it does actually. Well, it's interesting you said tea because I have a deep affinity to very special herbs and teas around the globe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very specific locations and primarily cultivated by women of the land.
Teas are storytellers. That's what I got for you. Teas are storytellers. But also I don't know, even before events, I kind of see you being drawn to a tea and then being like, what do I need to talk about? And yeah.
You're very aware.
Well, I don't know. That's just what I'm getting.
Yeah, I do that.
Oh, actually, you do that already? Okay.
Even just today, coming here, I was like, I need Grecian cistus tea, which you only can get in Crete. It's a very special herb. Well, it's a plant that grows only in Crete.
Wow.
And I was like, I have these special guests that I'm curious about. I'm like, I'm going to drink, and I have it in my mug over there. I'm like, I'm going to make a big batch and drink it throughout the day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I wasn't doing anything reading on it other than it was calling me to make a batch for myself.
Maybe just play with it. See what happens.
Yeah.
I'll be curious. I want to know if you end up liking it.
Thank you. Wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
If someone were to book with you or to book with an Akashic reader, or let's start with the booking, because I think most people would probably go to someone before doing it on themselves. Let's talk about that first. And then let's talk about if someone's like, hey, I would love to like play with this within myself.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to that one. But like, let's just say someone's booked you. Like, what can they expect?
So when booking someone, whether it's me or anyone, you always want to go to who you resonate with, always. It doesn't matter if like 3 of your best friends went to them and had amazing experiences. Don't go unless that's who's calling you.
Okay.
You know?
That's really wise.
You know, like it doesn't matter if they're the top. It just doesn't matter. You know, that's
it doesn't matter if they're labeled as the top Akashic. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
The right person for you, you'll be like, something in me needs to go to them. You know, I don't know why. Sometimes you might even be annoyed by it. Like, why am I so drawn to that person? But that's like, you know, that's something there. And then check in, like, is this the right person to give me the right reading? Your intention matters a lot, you know, with who you pick in my experience. So that's something I would say. And that's how I also help people just to avoid, you know, sometimes we have not the best readings. And so that's just how you avoid that. You just double check, who am I interested in? And is this the right person for me? Mm-hmm. And always from a reading, I'm also like, did you get one piece of really valuable information? If you did, that was a successful reading. So you take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay. So for me, I just have a few questions I ask people. And I've been really lucky. I meet like just the most wonderful people, but also I just really set the intention, like, only if it's for both of our best good, only if that's it. If not, I would like for them to find where they're meant to go. You know, that's always my intention. And because of that, I feel, knock on wood, very lucky. I've just always had really good people.
Yeah.
I've had to tell a few people no, but it's always become clear very soon to the session why it was a no.
Okay.
Like one person, it was really funny. This was when I first started doing it. And I was like, oh, you need to check that in. Like, that's actually a really important part of the reading is actually getting clear on that. Mm-hmm. The reading starts before the reading starts. So she had booked with me and I just immediately got a no, like, you can't read for them. So I was like, hey, I didn't know why. I was just like, I'm so sorry. I can't do this reading. I'm going to refund you. A year later, this person books with me. I didn't know that it was her. She didn't know that I was even the same reader she had booked with a year ago. And she said, last time I booked an Akashic record reading, the person refunded me and said they couldn't do it. And then she's like, wait, that was you. So, you know, what changed? And she's like, well, at that point in my life, I was addicted to readings. I was going to reader after reader looking for information. And she's like, you were the first one who told me no. And because of that, I stopped going to readings and I just recentered. And this was the first time I felt called again to go get one.
Wow.
So sometimes you don't know why, but I just always trust if there's a no.
It's just, you don't have to know why.
You don't have to know why. Yeah, you don't have, nobody needs to know. It doesn't mean it. It just means it's a no.
I'm going to share a story because I feel it's going to be really helpful to someone to trust into this. So how long has this been now? It's been almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years by the end of this year. I was having all this stuff in my uterus. And the doctors were like, okay, you have all these fibroids. You have this like 3 different grapefruit sized fibroids in there. Oh. We need to do some type of surgery, right? So I had scheduled this particular type of surgery and I went to go into the surgery. You know, you fast, you're nervous for it, you do all the things. Literally an hour before I'm supposed to be on the table, the surgeon's like, I'm not doing it. Like this I'm finding a theme in this conversation. He goes, I feel really uneasy and I think we need to rule out cancer. And I was like, oh, wow. And granted, at this time in my life, I was really in this, what it did is it led me on an introspection. So then I had to do all these tests to rule out cancer, right? So it led me on that. So my girlfriend was like, hey, Danette, I really want to gift you this Akashic reading with this woman I really love. I think it's just something you might need, which I was like, cool. I don't know who this woman is. She doesn't know who I am, which sometimes I get skeptical. So I was like, I'm a little bit fried in my brain and my emotions because I'm doing all these tests and I don't know if I have cancer. I don't know what's going on with my body. So I had that scheduled, but I also was doing this deep internal work. So I was doing my own ceremonies like for 8 hours, going inward, checking in on my cells, checking in on what that message was down in my uterus. And it was all around forgiveness of my ex. So I'd already received that information.
I have chills.
Yeah, like deep forgiveness. And I was like, I thought I had forgiven him. Like, what is this? And so I'd already gotten that message on my own. I go to sign up with this Akashic reader. Now, granted, I've been married with a new last name for 10 years, right? And I have a business, a very good business with emails attached to it. And she had given her my email. And that's where they like line up the Zoom or they line up the, the calendar. I knew the date. I had given her some information about me prior, and we were supposed to get on this call like within an hour, and I'm not seeing it in my calendar. I'm trying to get a hold of her. She's like, I've sent it multiple times to your email. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And she sends me a screenshot on my phone, and it says, Danette, my last name of my previous marriage. And she's like, that's not your name? And I said, no, that is not my name. And it went to an old email that honestly I haven't seen in over 15 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, she's like, how did this happen? I'm like, I don't know. So she's confused because she's wondering if she has the right person. Mm-hmm. So we get it all sorted out within minutes of the call. So we get on and she goes, who is Danette blank? And I'm like, that was my name in my previous relationship. And she's like, okay, we're going there. And she's like, she wants to come forward. I'm getting chills on my face as we talk about it. So this was my first experience with an Akashic, because the other one had said no. Yeah. So this is my first experience. I'm in a vulnerable spot, and she has my last name somehow. Whoa. And she's like, this woman wants to come forward. And so she brought her forward. She took me right in. She dropped in some place it was in Venice, actually, Venice, Italy. And she has me look at her, but I can see her from another timeline. And she's like, she needs to go. You have to tell her. She wanted to come in, but you have to let her go. So this was how my Akashic reading started. And I was like, after that, I've been so fascinated by the Akashic and this realm because, I mean, I knew I had to let her go. She was one that, like, all this forgiveness and all this stuff that was going on in my womb. And what ended up happening, I didn't have cancer. I ended up having a hysterectomy surgery. And then information came out about my ex about 30 days after my surgery. That was crazy information around my children and my ex that just brought me to my knees. So I was like, wow, this whole body and this Akashic connected to all of it is more aware than our minds can even comprehend. Yeah. And these souls that take on these karmic, karmic experiences with other souls, and what are you going to let go of, and what are you going to navigate in this timeline now? Whoa. Really, really. So I felt called to share that in case anybody's like, ooh, I want to try this, because it was really profound for me. It was really, really profound because you couldn't make that up. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I was like, how did she get this email, and how did she get this last name? Like, I never gave her that. Wow. Yeah.
My whole body's in goosebumps.
Yeah. 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 So then I became a believer.
And that's what I also mean about, like, the Akashic just tells you where things want to go. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't bring that up, but immediately the session started there. Yep. So often people will come with questions. I'm like, is it helpful to have an intention? Of course. But like, then I'll be like, are you okay if we go somewhere else? Because that's not where we're really going to talk about today. And then they'll be like, of course. But it always ends up in some weird way connecting to what they wanted to talk about, but it's never usually it.
Wow. Wow. That's so big. It's so big. Let me ask you, what can someone that's like wanting to access this on their own do?
If you're like, oh, this sounds interesting, right? So I want to talk for a minute about the benefits, because I know we've talked about like releasing a lot in the Akashic, but also the benefits, like, they're so big. So you can use these in your day-to-day life. So for example, when I found my lawyer, who she's incredible, it was through the Akashic. They said, that's your lady. And I thought, there's no way. I had a very small business at that point. She was like the top business lawyer in the area I lived in. And they were like, just call. And so I did. But then a pop-up came up and it was like, we have no room for new clients. But I had left her a voicemail and I was like, okay, I'm way too small for her. She calls me back and she says, I want to represent you. I looked at your page and I think I want to see you grow. Like, I'm your lady. So the Akashic helps you like in your day-to-day tasks. And that's something too that I also like to talk about, is that if you're like a mom, a lot of people who learn the Akashic are like, hey, what's going on with my kid? Why are they a little sick right now? What is something going on at school? Like, they'll even ask things like that with permission, that like, you're not being nosy. You're just like genuinely like, as a mom, what do I need to know? Mm-hmm. So it really helps with like everything. It's helped in my relationships so much to see my own shadow, where we can be like more connected, where, it helps with like your day-to-day stuff, as well as like all the big past life, deep soul stuff too. Mm-hmm. So if you are interested in that, you're like, I want to like connect to that. All you have to do is say that you want to connect. Like, literally all you need to do to connect to the Akashic is say, I want to connect to my Akashic records. Once you do that, you just feel, does anything feel different? Ideally, you might feel a little bit lighter. You might feel a little shift in the air. That little subtle shift is all I want you to focus on. That's your connection to the Akashic. It should feel like a subtle, like, boom, just like something shifted into place. It's like the difference between love and joy. You can't really explain it until you feel it. You're like, something just opened. What is that? And once you feel that flow, that's your gateway to the Akashic. Just your intention. So once you play with that, if you can start to feel into that for a few days, you can then ask a question.
Oh, you feel into it potentially for a few days.
For people who are just starting,
that's just helps with the trust.
The trust, yeah. Like, did I actually notice something? Because then the biggest thing is, well, I'm making this up. None of it's real. Mm-hmm. So it's a journey, but if you want to dabble in it, you don't need anything else other than your intention and to say, I want to access the Akashic. And then notice what you feel and give yourself permission to believe what you get.
Just believe what you get. It might come in signals or signs or an actual message or in different ways.
Yeah. And one thing I teach all of my students is like, okay, great, you saw a bird in the Akashic. Now go into, why would I make that up? So start to question yourself. Even if I did make it up, let's play that out. Why did I make up that specific thing? Why did my mind come up with that answer? Mm-hmm. And if you question yourself, soon you'll start to realize like, oh, I'm not making these things up. But if you allow yourself that potential of just going down that rabbit hole, soon you'll learn like, oh, that's why that came to me. But a lot of people are like, well, they just get stuck on, I did make it up. They don't ask, why did I make that thing up?
Wow. Interesting.
So it's like a gateway to intuition, like really fast tracked.
Very fast tracked.
Yeah. But you can do it. You can do it. I've seen people that are like type A to the max, and like within a month, they're like very much in their intuition, doing crazy things at their jobs.
Would you say that intuition and Akashic is the same thing?
No.
No. Tell me the difference.
It's where the information's coming from. So the Akashic, to me, it just feels like a soul knowing. Mm-hmm. That's how it vibrationally feels. Intuition is more like a gentle nudge, like almost like a guide being like, that's how it feels to me.
Okay, an intuition feels like a guide, like a nudge.
Like a nudge, like...
And a Akashic feels like a soul...
Like a soul knowing.
Soul knowing. Mm-hmm. And an intuition doesn't feel like a soul knowing to you.
No, not fully. It's more like a human knowing.
A human knowing. Mm-hmm. As an intuition.
Mm-hmm. My intuition's telling me that don't trust that person. My intuition's telling me I need to call them right now. It's like on a human level. And of course it can translate to soul.
Yeah.
Like, don't eat that food. Don't, whatever it is. But like, to me, the Akashic is like it just feels like my whole soul is in alignment with it.
Okay. Wow. So, that's cool.
I haven't really thought of the difference, but that's just intuitively what comes to me.
I imagine if you start listening to the human, like how you're naming it, the human intuition and the soul knowing, and you start to really fine tune both of those, which I honestly believe this will be your greatest asset moving forward in this time of AI, in the time,
Yes.
this momentum that's happening on
Yes.
the planet, and everything keeping us from our intuition. All the information and all the distraction is there to keep you from your intuition. But the more you tune in, I'm a firm believer in this and I'll stand by it,
Yes.
that this is the greatest practice any of us can do right now.
Yes.
It's like strength training in a gym. Get really in tune. That's why I love how you're showing and teaching people that you might need to do it over days so you can start to practice that feeling so that you're not questioning it, because it will become your superpower and we're going to need it more than ever.
The thing with intuition is because it's something that's been with us our whole life, people feel like they're meant to understand it right away. It's like learning a language. Like you have to do it every day. You have to use it with other people. You have to apply it to all areas of your life. And if you do that, you'll become fluent. But that pressure, there's like in self-development, there's this just self-pressure to be perfect. And you don't need it. Your soul already is. It just needs space to come in.
Nice. And then like, for example, like I feel like I could drop in and, well, I've been doing this, so I feel like I could, but why would someone go to someone? Because do you kind of help them guide through so that they're not questioning what they're seeing a little bit?
Well, I still go to people.
Still go to people?
Yeah, I have teachers that from time to time, like different ones for different things. Like if I'm ever in a period where I'm really sad, I have one teacher, he's just full heart and he'll help me remind myself of like why I do what I do. Like he's just my guide for that. And I have another teacher who I'm like, tell me where I'm lying to myself. Every time I go to her, I just say, show me all my shadows, show me all my dark spots. Where is the lies? And she's just like, it really is an ego death every time I go. But I find that to be super important to make sure we all lie to ourselves. We all do. We're human and we don't know we are most of the time. So I want someone to tell me that. So that's why I'm going to them.
Wow.
And also sometimes like it's just nice to be held. We need each other. We're like in community. We're in connection, you know? And I almost I want to go to people.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, guys, is I know that you're curious now. And now she just invited you to join us into this journey. And so what I want you all to do is to go follow her. All of her information's below. To follow the show if you're not, because now we're going to drop this next episode next. And you're going to be able to tune in and do this with us and do this with me. And let's see what we discover together, I guess, because we all set this intention together. You'll get that on the next part, so you get to tune in. So we're going to say goodbye for now on this particular episode. And on the very next one, we'll drop in. We'll actually have sound frequency in the back to really help you drop in, because I'm a big lover of sound frequencies. So we will really help create a really beautiful experience for you through the sound frequencies, but we'll let her, Rita, guide us through our own knowing and what it would feel like to a smaller scale, because we won't go as long, what this is like. And then if you're curious, you could go deeper if your soul is asking you to go deeper. How's that sound, guys? All right, we're excited. Wait, we'll see you on the next episode. Go ahead and click that follow button right now so you don't miss when we drop this. It's in the upper right-hand corner, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you so much. Thank you.